Good morning, traders, and God bless. Hello, YouTubers and Discord. Not seeing much moving this morning. Looks like kind of a dead market. If you've never been here before, we'll be watching this volume spike column for anything that's moving. We'll also be watching this momentum column. This one's picking up stocks that are moving. It picks up volume spikes, lets us know the moment they start moving. This column's looking back 30 minutes for anything that's moving, and evidently this morning it's dead because there's none in the list. Once we confirm a volume spike, we look down here to make sure that the volume is high enough for us to get in and get out safely. There's no exact number. We just like to see high volume flow in this current volume bar. This label here is this very last candle. Once we see the volume spike, we'll confirm the volume, make sure we have a crossover of these two moving averages, the EMA 5 and the EMA 13. We watch for these spike arrows to come in. We also look for bullish or bearish up here. And down here on this volume label, you'll see buyers or sellers. And that's what we do every morning as we watch this volume spike column, or we watch this momentum column, whichever one pops in first. And if everything lines up and the strategy sets up, we make a play. You'll see me marking support and resistance levels on this side on the chart. I'll be marking the high of the candle before it reverses. That'll be resistance. You'll see a red candle pull down, and I'll mark the bottom of it when that candle closes, and that'll be support. Our entries are always around the support level. Just make sure you choose wisely. Wait for the confirmation of the return up. MLEC making a small move here before our market opens. We have about 2.5 minutes to go, now 2 minutes. I believe there's a CPI report coming out this morning. Everybody may be sitting on their hands until that report comes out. Good morning, everyone just joining us. MLEC looks like it may do something at market open. Got about 50 seconds to go. And be very careful, and good luck to you. Well, 30 seconds to go. Getting a little spike up here. Let's see if we can get a pullback on the play. It's showing weakness, may not be a good one. Looks like it found some buyers. Not very much gaining here. Let's see if we get a pullback on this play right here. I'll go ahead and mark resistance. See if we can get it to pull back. It needs to come all the way back down to here. Some reason I'm not liking this stock. It doesn't seem to be responding good. Volume is low or lower. We did not get a good pullback on it. Looks like we broke through 314, coming back down to retest 314. I think this is a good one to stay clear of. And then when I say things like that, they take off as usual. A lot of sellers at the 320 range. Showing a lot of weakness this morning. It's probably anticipation of the report that's coming out. Heather, when you're looking at the price ladder, if you see a bunch of sellers in the list, they're all pending orders to sell at the price they are located. So if you have the red side outnumbering the green side, it's not very promising. If you try to get in and the numbers are higher on the red side, you may not see the advance you're looking for in the price. And vice versa, if they're higher on the green side and less on the red side, you have a better chance of the price rising. So you don't want to get in, for example, at 250 if you've got a seller for 5 or 10 or 50,000 shares at 255. You can also watch level 2. It'll give you the same information. If they're stacked up on the ask side, then you got to watch getting in on the bid side. LAES. This is a play from yesterday. Heather, keep in mind it can always be hidden sellers, and that's the guys that are not doing a pending order. They're just waiting to hit the sell button so it instantly goes through. So even though nothing's showing up on the red side, that doesn't mean somebody's not doesn't have their finger on their mouse ready to sell. So people like me who don't do a pending order, we just buy instantly and sell instantly. You're not going to see them in level 2 until the transaction goes through. And most of us here are clicking buy and we're clicking sell. We're not setting price targets and putting pending orders. So every one of us would not show up until we click the mouse button. Peach Hardy, I think the 5 minute and pre-market, the time is too long. 1 minute gives you a faster in and out unless you are good at monitoring a 5 minute candle and watching the body of the candle grow up and down. I think 5 minute period is too long for pre-market. 1 minute would help you respond much faster. Robert, I had the currency pair listed earlier. Now I have one that's just says loading. I don't know what that's all about. I guess it's not trading and it's stuck in the list. Looks like the MLEC wants to go, but it just don't have the buyers on board. Heather on ThinkorSwim is called tick charts, and yes, you can get down pretty fast charts. The issue is, are you good enough to read that chart fast enough to get in and get out? I find that the faster speeds are good for entry and exit, but I would not monitor my stock on a tick chart as far as the holding on part of the stock. If you're going to hold on for a minute or two, I think I would watch it on the 1 minute and the 5 minute after you enter from the tick chart The tick chart may let you get in at a better entry price. But you have to really know what you're doing, have some years behind you, know what to look for. And especially if you're a new trader, I do not suggest you get into those kind of speeds. May even be better if you start out on 5-minute charts on the regular session and 1 minute on the pre-market. I always have mine set on the 133. I mean, you can get down in the 20s if you wanted to. You can type it in. It's just so fast. How do you make a decent entry or exit if it's moving so fast? Definitely quiet this morning, not much moving ahead of the CPI report. Whatever you do, don't try to guess this report. Don't get in a bunch of stocks waiting for the report to come out, hoping it's good news. It can be deceiving. Let the people decide first. If it's a good report, the market will rally. And then get in and make your decision to buy or sell. Super. Does that mean if we buy a stock today, we get our money back tonight for tomorrow? That would be good. Martina, I think that's a preference decision, whichever one works best for you. I know a lot of you sort the stocks by momentum indicator, but if you sort by volume spike, you'll see even the minimal movement because they're going to pop up here first before they pop up in this momentum side. But then again, it's a preference thing, whichever one you like to watch, because you can also watch these numbers growing in size. My issue is I get lost on which one is moving. It may move up, back down, and back up. Where over here, I know instantly when a stock starts moving. And again, that's a preference thing, whichever one you want to sort by. Movie Maker, there's two pre-market scans. This one is coded with the after-hours script from ThinkorSwim and price and volume. This one I custom coded, and that's the one you have. This one also takes into consideration after hours from yesterday's trading. And this one doesn't. This one starts this morning. This one started yesterday after market close. I suggest you load both because they both pull up different stocks. But if you just want to monitor one, just the pre-market risers would be fine without the custom. That's because I play around with the numbers on mine. You can play around with the numbers as well in the code. This is my numbers on my magic scan. This would be the number that you change right here. I may have changed one of these numbers as well. I have a 1 and a 1 and 2000. You can get to that in scan on your scan tab and look for magic scan. But you don't have to do everything I do. I test different numbers, try to find the magic number, so to speak. I don't see a symbol starting with E. Unless it's Epic, the one you're talking about. And I don't know what it's doing. It's not loading. While we're dead, I'm going to go grab my eye drops. I'm getting a dry eye for some reason. All right. Back in business. And moving here, only a couple of pennies at a time. It looks like 2 cents in that candle. That's 250. This is 252, 254. No great gains here. So that entire run is about 10 cents. How's our delay this morning? Has anybody checked it? Looks like 10 seconds is the number. I'm going to sort by volume spike so we can find anything that's barely moving. So you'll be concentrating on these numbers growing, getting larger if something starts spiking. Since it's slow, it may put us on it a little bit earlier. I think everything's going to be pretty volatile today. I don't think it's only going to be crypto. I think it's going to affect the whole market, actually. Just be careful of the sudden pullbacks. Andrew, those two scans, one of them is the price gapped up at open. The other one is the price gapped down. So gap and run means if they gap up, they may continue to run. If they gap down, they may continue to run down. So those two scans are only active when the market opens at 8:30 Central Time. Just be careful of fake outs. It's going to be a tricky market today, I believe. SAI gapping up here, not paying very much, but it is paying something. Nothing else is paying. Macro, that can be a lifesaver. I use it all the time. I think it's one of the better indicators that we have. Of course, I really don't know which one's better anymore. A lot of them are pretty good. Just depends on which one you enjoy the most, I guess. Let's see if that's a pullback on this stock. This red candle closes down here. It may bounce back up for a nickel. I'm seeing the buyers coming in with the long tail on the bottom. It may gap up from here. The buyers do not want to let it go down. That's the long tail on the bottom. That's the buyers buying up what they're selling. Probably get another bump up here, and we did. But it's struggling like the rest of the stocks. Buyers below 145, sellers above it. Good job, Dana. Lots of sellers up there above 145. And you see long wicks on the top, like that right here. That's caution. These are sellers driving the price back down. SAI retesting that $1.45. It's still trying to break through. If you are new here, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I've been trading since 1990. I'm also a ThinkScript coder, and I write my own scripts. I don't rely on the regular generic scripts that come with ThinkorSwim. I found a better solution through coding. I created this volume spike indicator that lets us know the split second a stock starts moving. And you can see these are negative numbers and positive numbers. So if the price is rising while the volume is rising, they'll be green. If the price is falling while the volume is rising, they will be red. I refer to this as buyers and sellers, even though it's not buyers and sellers. It's positive and negative volume. I refer to it as buyers and sellers just so you understand what it really means, even though it's just negative and positive numbers. Once we see a volume spike here, we confirm that we have enough volume to get in and get out safely. And if we do, we come and confirm the crossover of these two moving averages. This is the 5 EMA and the 13. If they have crossed over and you see spike arrows down at the bottom, you'll see a bullish or bearish label pop in up here, and it's monitoring the current candle. If it's bullish and you have a crossover and down here you see buyers, it's probably a decision you need to make to get in or get out. Never trade off of my screen. My screen could be delayed and it could cost you money. Make sure that you are set up on your own computer if you plan on doing trading. If you are a beginner, start with paper trading or on demand. And if you've been on that for a while, start with small share size. And I do mean small, 10 or 15 or 5, until you start becoming profitable before you start buying larger share sizes. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I just posted it in the chat. Watch my videos on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment on the videos, let YouTube know what kind of a job I'm doing. It helps keep my ratings up. It also lets me know what kind of a job I'm doing by your comments. If you haven't subscribed to our Discord channel, there's a link below each YouTube video. I also posted it in the chat just now. Subscribe to our Discord, and this is where you'll find all of these indicators and scripts and labels. If you're unfamiliar with Discord, go to the Start Here channel on the left. If you don't see any channels, you did not click the disclaimer and accept it. Once you do that, the channels will pop in. Go to Start Here. It'll give you a brief description of what you need to do. If you don't know how to install scripts and labels and indicators, go to video number 8 in how-to videos for a brief description. If after reviewing the video you're still having issues, then head over to support and leave a question. Somebody will help you if I'm not available. Over in Discord, we also have the trading floor with Gregster and River Place Dad doing their due diligence on stocks and posting the good ones as they happen. Over in Options Trader, we have Bobby, who is the king of options. He gives you pointers throughout the day. He often holds a live stream when he has enough participants. He also holds a full-time job, so he has to juggle between the two. Sometimes we get one stream a week, sometimes two. Sometimes he wants to do more than that. It just depends on his time availability. I appreciate you joining us this morning as we wait on stocks to start moving. Also, we are a free Discord and a free YouTube. We rely strictly on donations. If you've learned a lot from here and you're in the profit and you feel like you want to pay it forward, you can make a donation down by where you type in on the chat on YouTube. There's a $sign down there with a square around it. Then you click Super Chat and name your tip price. If you want to get on a monthly subscription, over in Discord is our Patreon link. You can choose your price over there as well that you would like to donate to keep the channel going. Anywhere between $5 and $30 a month. Your contributions help me keep this information out there for free. It helps cover some of the expenses I'm incurring keeping this going. and what I spent to get it started. Donations are not mandatory. The information, you don't have to buy the information. Everything is free, but the donations help us keep it out there for free, keep the bills paid, and we appreciate your donations when they occur. MLEC trying to get up off the bottom. Volume is quite low on this stock. The last candle was 26,000 shares. Looks like we might exceed that on this candle. We did, but in the wrong direction. See you later, Mr. Rodriguez. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Calvin, for your donation. Greatly appreciate it. Have a blessed one. Joe, I'll look into that. That's a good idea. It's been suggested before. I do have a PayPal account, but it's to my construction business. I'll have to create a new one. I believe there's some restrictions when you first open up these accounts. I'll look into both of those. Good morning, Jimmy. Not much happening this morning, Jimmy, with the CPI report coming out in about 30 minutes. Not very many movers. I don't know why they can't drive a few up before that report, but I guess it is what it is. I'm watching the SPY come down and seeing red in the volume spike lines. Good morning, Gregster. SPEC nowhere on my scans, but we'll play it. It already has a resistance level at 292. Broke through that level up to 306, almost 306. That could be the support and resistance levels already set that we need. Let's see where the price goes. Showing resistance at 306, may pull back to 292 for a bounce. Pretty volatile right there with 10-cent bounces. Now broke through 306. Like to see a retest to 306. Another resistance level at 324. 306 now becomes support. Going back up to retest 323. Paul Wicks on the top. Be careful here. We need a pullback to 306 for an entry. There's 306. Let's see if we can hold it for the bounce up. We did go back up and bust through 324 for the rise up. Was a nice pullback play. It's pretty volatile though. If you're in the profit, I would probably think about collecting while you could. SPEC looking pretty strong here. Nice gains. Thank you for calling that out, Dusty. It was not in my scans. It still isn't. Guess I haven't refreshed yet. This may be the new level here unless it keeps going. Still rising. That was a nice pullback. Kind of sudden movement. Just like that, out of the blue in pre-market, we get a winner. Melanie, you done missed the play on this one. It should have been back there on the pullback to 306. Unless we get another pullback here, we'll see how it goes. Still rising. Plenty buyers on this stock. It's definitely flying. Lots of buyers on board. Dominator still looks good. Tall wick on the top. It may be over now. Good job, Dusty. It did give some doubts on the way up. You did good. Jimmy, they call that I'm afraid of losing. Got to get rid of the fear. Hey, if you got a piece of that rise, you did good. Good job, Edward. If you're new here, this is what we do each morning is we learn these indicators. We learn how to play the pullback strategy for profits. You can learn how to do the same thing with your participation with us on our live streams 5 days a week. We wait for the proper setup and pull the trigger. That's what it's all about. Sonia, that's not true when all of us are buying. Robert, there was a pullback there at 306 where you could have entered. You didn't see me set the support and resistance levels because they were already there, but there was a red candle back down to 306 for the run up. There is no entry now. You missed the run. You can watch it for maybe a possibility, but you're not going to get another strong run like that right on top of this one. At least I wouldn't think so. Not with the CPI report coming out in about 17 minutes. You have to be alert at all times. When one takes off, be ready for that pullback. That was a beautiful play right there. You have to remember there's not just us playing pullbacks. A lot of people play this same move. They all wait for the pullback and pull the trigger. That's what causes these bursts of energy. Funding Unites, I do have that available. It's not available to everyone yet. I'm working on it. One of the codes used in the swing combo was proprietary, and it was the whole moving average, and I did not have the code for that to be able to code in alarms and arrows. I did rewrite that script. I still have a lot of work to go on it. I'm trying to combine the two, the new one with the combo, and it's going to take me some time. You already have the arrows for the crossover on swing combo. You just don't have the alarm. That is correct, Robert. I'm trying to put it out there where it's not two different scripts working together. I'd like to combine it all as one indicator. I try, Robert, but I always have these thoughts in my head. What if it could do this? Is my thought that always happens. So far, one good play this morning. That's better than no good plays. Thank you, Robert Pro. What makes me happy is that these scripts are working for all of you. It's not just me confirming it, it's everybody confirming it. That's a good feeling when you write something that actually works. It's another good feeling when you don't have to explain it. Only thing I'm explaining is where the pullback is. The rest of the indicators, they work finding these stocks, so we don't have to. JC, I'm on break. I'm just kind of fine tuning things. That part will probably never leave, but I'm not writing anything new at the moment. Looks like we're gaining power here again on spec. Don't know how far it will go. If it can push through the $4 range, maybe. Tall wicks on the top, so be careful. Get rid of the fear of missing out because you already missed it. It's in the past. Put it in the past. It may not happen again. We may just see bounces from this point on. If it takes off here, we'll have to set a new high and wait for a pullback to enter. You don't wait on the pullback, it may set a new high and you get in and it goes back down. Just look at it this way. We do this every morning. There's always going to be another one. It may not be tomorrow, but it could be. So you may have missed this one, but try not to miss the next one. We may even have another one at 7:30. Or spec could go to $8 at 7:30. Who knows? There's 339 viewers, only 164 likes. If you like what you see, do me a favor and hit the like button. Let's keep the ratings up on YouTube. The more investors we have, the stronger we become. And the higher the ratings, the more subscribers come over to the channel. We want to teach everybody what's going on, not just a few people. We have grown tremendously over the last couple of months. I think last month we picked up 1,000 members, which is a good thing for all of us. Just imagine all of us watching the same scans, the same stock moving, purchasing the same stock. And in pre-market, there's hardly any volume. So yes, we can move the price if we have enough members. Back road bound, there's going to be a lot of people taking these scans, I'm sure, changing them around, calling them theirs. I knew that was going to happen when I put them out there for free. You cannot lock the codes in ThinkorSwim. They can lock theirs because they have the server to pull the data off of. I don't. Just like the one member we had a while back, he didn't last a day. He came in and started saying things and posting comments about how so-and-so other YouTube channel was doing the same thing and making all the profits, and he actually put a link to that site on our Discord, and then makes the statement, and I'm not him, and it probably was. So he got booted. I mean, why would you say I'm not him? Did he feel guilty? I just leave it in the Lord's hands. He'll take care of all of us. So we have about 3.5 minutes to go before the report comes out. We may see something move, or we may see everything fall. We will see once the report is out. Seeing the SPY pulling up, it must be going to be a good report. WC, I don't even check the news. I let everybody else check it, let everybody else do the reading of it and determine if it's a good report or not. If it's a good report, we'll get some volume spikes here, and that's all I care about is the numbers. I let everybody else chase news. I chase numbers. So at 7:30, if you see a good one spiking and it's not on my charts, that means you refreshed before I did. So post it in the chat and I'll take a look at it. Or maybe I'll get it before you. I don't know if it's going to happen that way. If it wasn't for Dusty, we wouldn't have had SPEC earlier. Of course, it did pop up, but it was already rising when it did. About 15 seconds to go. I don't know if the report's out already. We will see. I'll be watching for spikes. Or for redness, the SPY is gapped up with a big green candle. And it just hit a severe red candle with a big drop. That red candle's about 5 inches long on my screen. All the spikes turn red. That's why you don't buy in anticipating good news, or you could lose a lot of money. Even spec is pulling back a little. Lots of red on the volume spikes. Everybody's selling. Big red candle on the SPY. The shorters should have made a few $1 million right there. SPY's pulling back even further. It did not break the low, I don't think. This volume spike indicator is letting you know what's going on in the entire market. SPY still pulling back a little. It did get lower. It's red now, but the traders could say, okay, enough is enough. Let's bring it back up. I've seen that happen. The SPY is kind of bouncing up a little off the bottom. We may turn around. I'm seeing the red is now slacking off. We may get some spikes here from the runs back up. What did spec do? Let me check spec. Spec held strong at 386, 365, I mean. So spec held on through that. That's always a good sign. There could be a second pullback coming on the SPY, so be careful of this fake out bounce back up. I am seeing a small red candle on the SPY at 476.50. Need to fill the gap back up to 478 on SPY. Now green again on the SPY. Milo trades, the pullback indicator is looking for this right here. It's looking for a pullback in the next green candle. If that occurs, it's going to say pullback in green, PB. Or if it doesn't occur and it keeps coming down red, it's going to say no pullback. So it's looking for the pullback play that we do each morning. If that's the indicator you are referring to, Milo. The SPY only recovered about half of the red drop. It's kind of pulling back a little bit now. I'm watching spec here and see if it takes back off. Let's set a level at the top there. We could bounce between those two zones at 365 to 392. Good morning, everyone. Just joining us. You're just joining us. You missed a big run on SPEC. We could have caught it right here on this pullback from 306, and some of us did, all the way up to almost 392. I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, I had to get me some water. That coffee was getting cold. Trading pennies. Let me show you where the red candle was because it did turn green. Right here at 306, this candle went up, turned red, and pulled back down to 306, and then shot up. There was a red candle here. Only thing is the levels were already here. I did not set them. They were already there. All right, we're watching BKYI. They get a pullback right here. Let's see. Or we just may run back up. That's a long tail on the bottom of that candle. Let's see if we get a pullback out of it, or does it just run up? To mark resistance there, it may not hold, it may break through it, and I'll have to take it off and remark it. Let's see if we can get a red candle to close without it selling off. This may be a pump and dump. Nice pullback if it closes here. That candle did close. Let's see if we get the bounce back up. Still got a shot at it. It ain't over yet. Just make sure you cut your losses short if we pull down below 284. That one is definitely struggling. All right, so this one's not cooperating. This one is definitely not a winner. Hopefully you covered your losses, not too deep. GRFS, hope you check the volume on it. It's pulling back as well. Volume is kind of slow on it. I don't like that big red candle. Looks like all the spikes are disappearing. Yeah, that one's under my price range. It is moving though. I don't get into these cheaper ones either. They're not worth the investment to me. They can be, but they're just not my thing. I'll take a look at spec and see. I probably wouldn't mess with spec right now. Never know, it could be totally over and drop all the way back down to 240. So the SPY is almost back down to the bottom of that big red drop on that candle. It's heading down again. In other words, it's losing the bounce from the low. Not seeing BKYL. I'll type it in, see where we are. Oh, that's not it. BKYI maybe. Yeah, probably not much going to happen on that one. Kind of looks like the SPY. Mara trying to make a move here. Dominator looks good on Mara. Yeah, I'm not taking a break. I already got me some water. Quiet morning so far. Looks like SPEC's going to be the only winner for pre-market. MDV, I don't understand your question. That is correct. Christopher, the only reason I have them up there is because the members prefer, some of the members prefer the line, some of them prefer the bars. So I put both of them up there. It's keeping everybody happy. I prefer the bars, but most people prefer the lines. I think they're used to the lines. Once they figure out the bars, they may be comfortable with both. Milo trades, are you talking about the chart that I refer to as the pullback indicator, the strategy? I have several things called pullback. I have a PB. I'll give you an example on spec. That was this morning's play, SPEC. So what we watch for on the pullbacks is you'll see a run up of the stocks. And when we caught spec this morning, this was actually a red candle. Let me zoom in right there on that area. If it lets me, and it doesn't. So the stock took off and came up to this resistance level. It pulled back with a red candle to here. That's where we're going to make our entry, is on the support level. So when it pulls up, you'll see me mark resistance level here. When it pulls a big red candle or a short one, and this candle closes red, I will mark support level. The support level is always the entry price when you're doing pullbacks, but only after a strong run up. The pullback probably won't work if the stock is just channeling horizontally. You have to have buyers and sellers come in a large amount in anticipation that that stock's going to continue to run. When they take off like spec did and pull back, this was a very fast play right here. It was red for a few seconds and then took off again. This is where they took a little bit of profit, and that's the areas I look for, is for profit takers, not sell-off people. This pullback works. It has a high rating. I'm going to say most of the time it's 8 out of 10 we will win. But it all depends on the market that day as well. So those ratings could drop down lower than what I say. But that's basically all it is. We wait for high volume to come in with a bunch of buyers. When the green candle stops, I mark resistance. It pulls back. When the red candle closes, I mark support. And we anticipate the bounce back up for more gains. That's all there is to a pullback. And you can follow any stock that's moving up or down all day long as it's trending up, and wait for those pullbacks to occur and make your entry on the pullbacks. I don't remember exactly if it closed down here red, but it did pull back red, and then it got a longer wick on the bottom, and that was our indication to get in. The arrows mean increasing volume. That is correct. Some of them are not very clean pullbacks. You have to do them for a while to know that when there's a long wick on the bottom on a pullback, that it may not close red because the buyers come back in to drive it back up. Magoo, we don't put a number on it. We take what the market awards us and get out safely. Sometimes you may get a nickel, sometimes you may get much more. Just all depends on how the market reacts with that one particular stock. We don't set goals. We grab a piece and get out. I'm going to change the scans. I'm going to do the 50-minute over here. I can get my mouse to cooperate. High flyers right here. LAES, thanks again, Dusty. Be careful here. We're close to the bell. There's no telling what this stock's going to do. This could just be anticipation that this stock's going to go up at open, and they could be wrong, but they could also be right. I don't know if it's pump and dump or not. It's been moving this morning, so I would think not. I think it's just anticipation that it may go up. Good job, Mark. I'm kind of interested to see what SPEC's going to do. About 15 seconds. Be careful. This column's going to get very volatile. You're going to have to pick your stock. I might not see it, so play it on your own computer. I'm going to watch SPEC here and see if we can get some gains out of it. Also watch for the halt. And good luck to everyone. SPY has a small green candle. Looks like SPEC may break through 339. See if it comes down to retest 339 before the run up. Maybe not. A lot of sellers at 350 on this stock. Blew right through them. There's the retest of, whoa, big sellers on SPEC. I wouldn't call this one a pullback. It broke the low of the previous candle. Maybe retesting 324, and we did. Could be a pullback here, but don't trust it. I think it's kind of too volatile at that low price. $7,000 share seller at 329. $40,000 share seller at 329. SPY is falling. So is Mara. Mara took a big dump. Mara bouncing back up. I'm watching it on a different monitor. I'm also watching SPEC, see if it's going to recover here at this level. Well, I can tell the bell rang. We're back to the dead market again. RLMA, that was a good pullback. Didn't see that one happening. Could get another pullback here for the second play. Let's see if we can get at least half of that candle down, and we did. Now we need this red candle to close down here about half of the green one. If you see a long tail on the bottom, that means the buyers are buying it back up, and the chances are it's going to break through the $5 level and right on up. That's kind of the play that was on SPEC earlier with the long tail on the bottom. And it's pushing on up. Retesting $5 for another run up. It's struggling. They got tall wicks on the top. It's not going to get very far. SPY moving up slightly. Couldn't anticipate that one. That one just jumped right up there, but there's a lot of sellers above the $5 price, so it's probably going to pull back down. It's just bouncing around. That was a little too quick for me. Up here, you see these tall wicks. These are all sellers up here. These are sellers driving the price back down on each one of these candles as it breaks $5. 506 to be specific. So there's a bunch of sellers up here in this level. We want wicks on the bottom, not wicks on the top. When you start seeing wicks on the top, you better cover your position because they're selling it off. Looks like the SPY may pull back. It's showing weakness. I think a lot of them are trying, but they're just not getting anywhere. MIGI, a strong green candle. And it's all over the place. Gapped down on a green candle and then shot back up. This one's all over the place. Got to watch the spread on this one. It's quite high. It's jumping up in the 20-cent range. Now a gap up and pulls back. This is crazy. I think I'd stay clear of this one. Funny money in this one. IBIT, I'll take a look at it. Looks pretty solid. Good job, Edward. Mara could be on a pullback. Let's see if we can get a bounce out of Mara. Or does it continue to sell off? We'll see. Like it's going to hold 28.44. It's trying. Come on, get up there, retest 29.06. I think I'll take that right there. There's 29.06 for the pullback play. Thank you, Edward, for your donation. Greatly appreciate you, and God bless. That was a good pullback for Mara. The SPY is dropping if you haven't looked. Market's quieting down. The SPY is going red, or is red, I should say. It's much lower than when it opened for the regular session. Probably going to be pretty tough from this time on with the SPY dropping. I think every one of them look about the same. They all got these spike ups and these returns back down. The SPY is continuing to fall. Yeah, it didn't break it for long. You see them tall tails on the top? It'll probably pull back down to 506 for a retest. There's a 506 retest. That's correct, Don. They're short-lived. So it's one of them mornings you'd be happy with a nickel or a dime and then get out and watch it fall. Not my favorite kind of trading day. Might be best to wait on another spec for tomorrow morning. LAES, I'll take a look at it again. It wasn't flying earlier. I can make it go down, and you know how I do that really good. Just hit the buy button. Maybe all of y'all go short, I'll hit the buy button. Yes, in that case, I would be paying for you to play. See, there would be my buy right there. I told you. Never fails. I just got to think about buying, and the red candle appears. That's why I play pullbacks. Taught me a good lesson. Warlock, if you're up so hard, why haven't you taken profit? Well, we all know what happens when you hang on too long. But don't let me talk you out of it. You know what you're doing. Roma too jumpy for me. Too many tall wicks on the top. See you later, James L. You have a blessed day. See, James L., he learned his lesson. He made his money in pre-market. He's calling it a day, and he's going to play pre-market tomorrow. Sometimes I think that's what we all should do. Nice pop on Roma. Unpredictable. They're getting pops with big tall wicks on the top. Might go into a halt on Roma, so be careful. Good job, Michael. Milo, I played Mara earlier. Milo, have you made any trades? We're at the 9 o'clock hour, pretty slow. Things are calming down in the market. Roma's still bouncing around, may have more to it, may not. It's getting pretty high now. It's up a couple of bucks since market open, or almost a couple of bucks. No, it's 9 o'clock here. I'm on the central time zone. Good job, Robert. If you haven't taken a look at the SPY, it's on a hard decline itself. That's why you see red. You sort by volume spike, and you'll see the red I'm talking about right here. That's about what the SPY looks like on Mara. See you later, Broke Joe. God bless you. Roma's still going. I have a feeling Roma's going to get hit hard here any moment. Everybody's in profit. They're all bound to take it sooner or later. This PEC big sell-off since the market opened. Probably just a small bounce in this area. Good job, Greg. And that's one of my older setups that you're playing with. The SPY is falling like a rock that fell off a cliff. If you haven't looked at the SPY, I'll pull it up here so you can see what I'm talking about. That's what the SPY looks like. I can get my chart out of the way. That's why not much is moving in the market. See you later, Dusty. God bless you. Pretty dead. I'm going to go refresh my water. I'll be back shortly. All right, I'm back. Very choppy market today. Be careful if you make any trades. You could get stung pretty hard. It's like everything goes up, but then comes down with a big red candle. So very risky. Think spec done fell off in the hole. Mara down at the bottom. Mara's following the SPY, it looks like. See you later, back road bound. God bless you. You're probably making a smart move to walk away. CCCC. We are at resistance at 726. Those are previous levels. Good job, Nano. Have a blessed day. Yeah, I gave up on Roma. I gave up on it back here. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. Also halted. SPY sitting down at the bottom, not making any effort to come up any. Got to wait on the pullbacks, Robert. If you try to chase the green candles, they'll get you every time. They need to pull back to a level, a support level before you enter. Good job, Joe. Thank you, Domingo, for your support. Greatly appreciated. God bless you. The arrows are indicating volume spikes. In other words, more volume is coming into those candles. They are not. I monitor mainly volume and price action on all of the indicators. That's kind of why we do as good as we do on a lot of these trades. We watch buyers and sellers, and whoever outnumbers the other what makes a good trade. If we have more buyers and sellers in the overall volume, then we know we can get in safely and get out. You are welcome. LABD. Nice looking chart. Looks like we're squeezing or channeling or consolidating at the moment. Keith, you got that correct. I like watching candles myself. Well, I'm not seeing a pullback on it, but you do have some good stocks. I have to agree. Are you trying to pay me back? You can pay me back through donations. Had to throw that at you. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'll put the link down there in the chat. Go watch my videos, watch these live streams again. They're all on YouTube. Learn what we do, get set up on these indicators on our Discord. If you need help on Discord, it's available. Just make sure you watch the how-to videos first. But sometimes we get overwhelmed with questions that are easily solved if the member will just go look for the answer. I know a lot of people join with a lot of anxiety and a lot of adrenaline pumping. They're ready to get going, and they just decide to ask where everything is. But you could do us a big favor if you just watch the videos and go look. You're going to have to learn the indicators anyway before you trade, or at least that's my suggestion. So take your time, explore, find what you need. If you have issues, give us a shout and support. I appreciate everyone who joined us this morning. You can see we are profitable. You saw members posting profits. I don't think anybody posted a loss this morning, except they didn't post a loss. They just said they lost 2 or 3 days in a row, but some of them are still learning, and that's going to happen. Even I lose. I'm not a winner for 100% of the time either. I don't believe anybody is. But we do a good test of it with the pullbacks. It kind of locks us in on our profits and helps us all out. But anyhow, thank you all for joining me this morning. We got about 2 minutes left. And as always, have a blessed day. Thank you, Hennessy, for that donation. God bless you, brother. And thanks to all of you. We will continue in the morning. Friday is, you know what kind of day. We call it sell-off day here, but there may be some pre-market plays before that sell-off. Hopefully we'll get blessed in the morning again. Was not a bad pre-market this morning. You're all welcome. Thank you for being a part of this very important team. I love each and every one of you. Let's make it a good one that help everybody make money. Once you catch on, reach out to somebody that's struggling. Give them a hand. Pay it forward. That's what I do. Glad you could join us, Michael. All right, my session is over. God bless each and every one of you. I will see y'all tomorrow, and goodbye.